the abundance that I am experiencing in my life is coming from 2 years of being a very conscious student of this. Forgiveness. Here is why. I believe that forgiveness, clearing out the cobwebs, clearing out the darkness in our hearts and in our lives, it makes room for the abundance that we want to call into our lives. However, if we are not experiencing forgiveness for the people and situations that have hurt us, I do not see how we are able, as much as I have tried to hold on to grudges and play victim, I can't call in the love, the abundance, the prosperity into my life unless I have forgiveness in my heart. And I'm going to show you exactly how right now. There's 4 steps that we're going to talk about today. Number 1, what I need to do when I have someone who has berated me, criticized me, threatened me, hurt me, or verbally abused me in any way, and God forbid you've had someone physically assault or abuse you, the first thing that I like to do is I like to remember that that little person was once a baby. I like to keep an image of that person as a child. If you have an image of that person, of them as a child or a baby, this is going to be great. Put it up on your altar. I've got my altar sitting right over here. Hold on, let's take a look. So I took this right off my altar. This is an image that I use when I want to call in forgiveness to myself, because sometimes I have a little bit of guilt, especially as a mom. You always want to be doing the best because your child is modeling everything you do. So to have forgiveness for someone or something that has hurt you, remember that that person is a beautiful, divine being created in God's image. That person was perfectly crafted to be a divine light on this earth. That is going to help you find the compassion you need to forgive this person or the situation that has hurt you. Number 2, and this goes along with having a picture of this person as a child. If you need to forgive someone who has hurt you, remember, hurt people hurt people. Has the person that you're thinking of right now, has that person that you're harboring resentment towards, that person who you're playing victim against, has that person been hurt? I guarantee you the reason that they hurt you is because they were hurt themselves. So number 1, remember that that person is, despite of what bad things they've done, a good person created in God's image. Number 2, remember that hurt people hurt people. If you want to find forgiveness in your life, Rosie, what's up? Then please make sure you remember that that person is probably hurting you or has probably hurt you because they were hurt themselves. That's going to give you the compassion you need to move forward. Here's step number 3 to forgiving people who've hurt you. Step number 3 is simply take personal responsibility for getting yourself in a situation with someone who hurt you. Did you have control over the person or the situation? Did you put yourself in a situation where you could be hurt? Did you get in a relationship with someone that could hurt you? Here's the secret. When you take personal responsibility for your past, you have personal power in your future. When you can clear out that unforgiveness, you are opening up the doors to abundance. When you can have gratitude for people who hurt you, you now are telling the universe, yes, I want more. Give me things that I can learn lessons from. I will be a good steward of those things in the future. I won't let myself get hurt like this again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move forward with the power and the grace and the forgiveness that you have given me. Okay, so step number 1, take a picture of the person who hurt you, especially if you can find a picture of that person as a child, and say, you, despite hurting me, are a beautiful child created in the divine image of our Creator, of God, of energy, of source, of nature. So number 1, remember that person is beautiful. They just did a bad thing. Number 2, remember that hurt people hurt people. That person who hurt you, somebody probably hurt them. You'll see this a lot when it comes to abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, and assault. When people hurt other people, it's probably because someone taught them that behavior. So have compassion for the person who hurt you. Number 3, remember, you have no power to rewrite your future if you're still living in the past. Take personal responsibility for the person and the situation that hurt you, and now take the lessons and create a beautiful future for it. If you are harboring unforgiveness, if you are giving attention to the thing that hurt you, you don't have the attention to create a beautiful future. Nikki is saying, I've been there the last couple of years, need to learn, really needed to hear this right now. I know you needed to hear it because the Holy Spirit put it on my heart to share with you guys today. It started with my friend Kelly. We were talking this morning and she never told me. But she has a narcissistic person in her life. I'm not going to give you her handle, her last name. I want to respect her privacy. But I was talking to a woman named Kelly this morning, and all of a sudden, God told me this person is suffering with unforgiveness. Hey, Vikram, from a narcissistic abuser. And all of a sudden, I felt like, wow, I've got to share how I overcame a family member who hurt me. And so number one, like I said, keep a picture of that person. Remember, the person who hurt you is a beautiful person crafted in the image of God. But number two, remember, hurt people hurt people. That person, you got to have compassion in order to move forward. Have compassion for the fact that they hurt you because they were once hurt by someone else because they are hurting themselves. Number three, the only way to rewrite your future, the only way to create a beautiful a future where you are in control is to take responsibility for your past. Recognize that you got yourself in that situation so that you can take back your personal power to move forward in a situation you want. You know what I do to take back my personal power? First of all, I have a picture of myself. Every mistake I've ever done, I look at that beautiful little girl and I say, you are perfect. You are created in God's image, Stephanie. And I have a lot of forgiveness for myself that way. And here's the next thing you're going to do. Hold on, I got to have my lemon juice with apple cider vinegar. So good for you. I do liquid fasts on Mondays. I know I didn't do my Motivation Monday post. Everyone was asking me about it. I have a vision board. These are the places I'm going, the people that I'm going to interact with, the stages I'm going to be on, the conferences I'm going to speak at. The only way I have the personal power to create everything that's on that vision board right there is when I take responsibility for my past. That's how I have personal power over my future. Number 4, I promised I'd get to 4 things today that have helped me experience forgiveness in my life. Number 4, y'all, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, let no man pull you so low as to hate him. Now, I want you to remember that if someone is dragging you down, that person is already beneath you. So if you are experiencing unforgiveness for someone in your life, remember, you are allowing that person to pull you to their level. They are not yet. They are a beautiful person who is not yet, will pray, at the consciousness that you are. So take personal responsibility for your past. And one of the ways to do that is to not let that person drag you down. Don't give them your mind space. Cut it out. Even if you cannot physically cut the person out of your life, cut out the space that they're inhabiting in your mind. Now, the next quote in my step number 4 is remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s quote. Here's what I like to do. I kept it on my wall for a long time. I wrote it down. I kept it right up there on my desk, which I just showed you. And it says, darkness does not drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate does not drive out hate. Only love can do that. There are some major jerks out there. There's people who are going to berate you, physically abuse you, emotionally abuse you, verbally abuse you, assault you. There's people who are going to criticize you, who are going to talk you down. But here's the thing. You're not going to win the game with darkness and hatred. You're going to win the game by setting the boundaries you can, demanding the respect you deserve, and don't rest in that darkness and that hatred. Darkness does not drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate does not drive out hate. Only love can do that. So y'all, today we are talking about forgiveness as a way to take back your personal power. The only way that you can have prosperity, wealth, and abundance in your life is if you are vibing at the level of someone who is not harboring bitterness. Let's repeat the 4 steps. Number 1, if you want to forgive someone, remember they're a beautiful child created in God's image. Number 2, remember that hurt people hurt people. That person who hurt you was probably abused or assaulted themselves. Number 3, the only way to create this space for abundance, wealth, and prosperity in your life is if you take personal responsibility for your past. If you're not taking personal responsibility for your past, you have no control to rewrite your future. You're not going to get in that situation again. So rest today in gratitude for that. And number 4, remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s quotes. Number 1, darkness does not drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate does not drive out hate. Only love can do that. And number 2, let no man or woman pull you so low as to hate him or her. You're better than that. Your consciousness is higher than that. You are vibrating at a higher level than that. So get the darkness out of your heart right now. Clear out the space to forgive that person. Use my tools that I gave you for compassion. When you take back personal responsibility for your life, your past, and your future, you can create the wealth and the life that you want. I believe it with my whole heart. It's worked for me, and I believe it can work for you too. All right? So y'all have a beautiful Monday. I know y'all know that I love Mondays. And today, my theme is forgiveness. Because if we really want to create the space for wealth and abundance and prosperity in our lives, we got to clear out the cobwebs. We got to take back our personal power so that we can create and rewrite our future. All right. So Rosie, reply to this after you take notes. I should write an article on it. If I do write an article about it, I'm sending it to Daddy's Digest, Vikram. You guys should look him up. He's amazing. And y'all, I really hope that these 4 steps have helped you today. Have a beautiful, beautiful Monday. I love Mondays myself. Bye, everyone.